Good morning, and welcome to the Contemporary Worship Service at First United Methodist Church of St. Gabriel. It is my privilege to have you here for what is my final message as the leader of the Contemporary Worship Service. Just one tiny announcement as we get started. Today's format is a song followed by a message, followed by the final song. And on the off chance that you want to skip right ahead to the message, the opening song is Francesca Bettistelli's If We're Honest. So if you fast forward about 3 minutes, it should put you right where you want to be. I'll see you soon. Enjoy.
Truth is harder than a lie. The dark seems safer than the light. And everyone has a heart that loves to hide. I'm a mess and so are you. We've built walls nobody can get through. Yeah, it may be hard, but the best thing we could ever do. Bring your brokenness and I'll bring mine. 'Cause love can heal what hurt divides, and mercy's waiting on the other side. If we're honest, don't pretend to be something that you're not. Living life afraid of getting caught. There is freedom found when we lay our secrets down at the cross, So bring your brokenness and I'll bring mine. 'Cause love can heal what hurt divides, and mercy's waiting on the other side. If we're honest, it would change our lives. It would set us free. It's what we need to be. So bring your brokenness and I'll bring mine. 'Cause love can heal what hurt divides, and mercy's waiting on the other side.
Hey, what's your name, buddy?
Daniel?
What are you thankful for this year?
Me.
If we're honest, if we're honest.
In the last 3 months, I have gained a deeper appreciation for what a mixed blessing the gift of time is. For me, it was a paradoxical reality that the more time that I had, the less valuable it seemed to become to me, at least in my own head. All the days just ran together, and suddenly there were no boundaries, and it became exhausting from a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual standpoint. It's like swimming in the ocean. Am I going in the right direction? Is it okay if I take a break? Am I ever going to get to where I want to go? Does anything I do even matter? I know, it's all very, very dramatic, but it's okay. It's my message, so I can poke fun at myself a little bit, right? As human beings, we need boundaries. Living a life without boundaries is exhausting. And so if we really want to live healthy, meaningful lives, we have to understand the value of boundaries, like the beginning of things and the end of things. Life is full of beginnings and endings. School, jobs, relationships. And it's real easy to get excited about the beginning of these things because all we see is the potential. Our first day of college, our first paycheck, our first date with somebody. The problem comes when we start to see the end. Senioritis sets in. We stop doing our job because we're quitting, and we ghost people because we don't want to have the breakup conversation. It's real easy to give up before something is actually over because we don't see the value in the end of it. And if we want a healthy relationship with God, if we want to live a meaningful life of faith, we have to learn to see the value of the end of things because God calls himself the beginning and the end. COVID-19 has a lot to teach us about how we should place value on the end of things. 3 months ago, we started this quarantine in a fairly strong way. We isolated, we social distanced, we wore masks for a solid 2.5 months. And then a couple of weeks ago, we decided that because we thought we saw the end coming, that it was okay to not social distance, to not isolate, and to not wear masks. And then the cases shot back up again. If we don't learn to see the value in the end of things, if we give up too soon, our problems are not going to go away. They're going to linger and they're going to fester. In the same way, living a life of faith, as we pray for people, as we go to church, as we love people, means we can't give up too soon. Living a life of faith is hard, and because of that, Hebrews 12 is filled with encouragement for us about how to live a life of faith. Hebrews 12:1 states that living a life of faith is like running a race, and we have to run it with perseverance, which means we have to finish strong. When we see the end of things coming, the end of the race, the end of our lives, the end of CWS, we have to push forward and finish strong. Otherwise, we risk losing everything. It's just like Tony Stark Iron Man said, part of the journey is the end. And COVID-19 is teaching this to us right now. Because we gave up too soon, the number of cases is spiking again, and we risk undoing all of the hard work and all of the sacrifices that we've made for the last 3 months. If you give up on your diet with 5 pounds left to lose, if you cheat on your wife after 40 years of marriage, if you get drunk right before a test that you stayed up all night studying for, it doesn't matter how well you started if you don't finish strong. That's the only thing that everybody's going to remember, including you, that you didn't finish strong. God is the beginning and the end. And so as the contemporary worship service comes to a close, I want to talk about the very first clip and the very first message I ever gave in CWS. It was from a movie called Man of Tai Chi. And in it, there is a Tai Chi student, and he's studying with his master. The student has been going out into the world using his martial arts skills to beat people up and win money, and then he would use that money to help the temple. The master tells him that that's not what he taught him to do. And the student replied, "The things that I learn in here don't work out there." That is an awkward truth of the modern church. That is just as true today as it was 6 years ago. We are not equipping people to live lives of faith 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We bully people, we guilt people, we shame people into living out their lives of faith for 1 hour every week while they're at church. But then they leave. They leave the building and go back to whatever it is that they were doing with their lives. We are not teaching people how to finish strong in their lives of faith. They give up too soon. We're not teaching people that the gospel tells us we need to love people if we're going to finish strong in our lives of faith. 1 Corinthians 13:2 says, if we have not love, we have nothing. We have to love God and love our neighbors as ourselves. Those are the 2 greatest commandments of the Bible. So in order to finish our lives of faith strong, we have to love people. We can't just love God by going to church and going to Bible study and praying. All of those things are great. But unless we can use what we learn in those things to love people, we will never know what it means to run the race with perseverance. We will never know what it means to finish strong in a life of faith. That's what the contemporary worship service was all about. Knowing that God is the beginning and the end, which means he places just as much value on the end of things as he does the beginning of things, which means we can't quit too soon, which means we have to finish strong, which means we have to love God so that we can love people for as long as we can. As we go our separate ways, there is one more truth that we can get from the fact that God calls himself the beginning and the end. That truth is, with every ending comes a new beginning. I still see in all of you the same potential that I saw when we first started this thing. And I have since learned the unique ways in which God has gifted each and every single one of you. So go. Live your lives of faith. Don't quit too soon. Finish strong. Love people. And remember that with God, nothing is impossible. God is the beginning and the end. It's funny, it's like It's like saying hello and goodbye at the same time. Like aloha. It means that no matter where I go, I'll always be around. It has been my privilege to serve the Contemporary Worship Service and First United Methodist Church for the last 6 years and 2 months. And so I would like to leave you with my favorite verse, Galatians 6:2. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the entire law. Aloha.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see.
Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are keeping me
A million dreams, a million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
for the world we're gonna make.